How old are you when you had your first phone? Hey, you are now listening to the Nasi Lemak Podcast. I am Shang Huan.
I'm Cynthia. I think it was 7 years old.
Oh,
But-
yo.
But the phone is those Nokia.
Nokia
that
3310.
one yeah, not 3310 lah, but need to got the press button and all
Oh,
stuff.
got color.
No color one lah.
So
got,
it's still...
got the snake one, the snake.
okay.
I think I wouldn't consider it as my first phone.
Family shared.
Can be say like family shared lah. It's just for my mom to train me, like you have to start to remember your family's phone number in case emergency. Then it's like a phone for you to you like trying out something like that for emergency lah. For us to train me to remember my parents' phone number, my grandparents' phone number, and how to use a phone like when emergency. At least you know how to function it.
My first phone, I think, was like 14 or 15, like Form 3.
Oh,
Yeah, first phone. It's a Nokia 3310, the legendary phone.
The so-called the phone can use to
Yes,
keep the crap.
The most hardcore phone on earth, which is basically even when it drops and it's dismantled, right, you can still assemble it back and it will
And
still
still
function.
alive.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's still alive. There's one study that we came across, which is called as the mobile device usage among young kids, a Southeast Asia study. So basically, this is a study that being carried out in Southeast Asia, and the country that they are actually conducted is Singapore, Malaysia, Thailand, Indonesia, and Philippines. They carry this study by interviewing over 2,500 parents of kids aged between 3 to 8.
3 to 8.
Yes, 3 to 8 years old. So basically, is that there's 2,500 parents from Singapore, Malaysia, Thailand, Indonesia, and Philippines to take part in this study. When I read through these reports, right, there's one single chart or like a study, right, that actually got my attention, which is basically out of these 2,500 parents' kids, right, there is 14%, 14% of the kids have their own mobile device.
Only 14%?
Only 14%, yes. So they are in the age of 3 to 8.
Okay, that makes sense. From age to 3 of 8, 14%. Okay, then that makes sense.
From yourself, right? What do you think? Like, what's the ideal age for young kids to have a smartphone?
To be fair, maybe like 7 years old, standard one. Okay, not the phone purpose is not for them to, have social media accounts, Instagram or what, but it's for them like what I mentioned just now, how my mom taught me is to let them learn how to use a phone and then how to call your family. It's not for them to go take videos, take TikToks.
But okay, look back into our time, right? Your time, my time, right? As you mentioned, like our phone is just only black and white.
Yeah.
And
the only game that you can play is the snake game.
Yeah, I couldn't remember what's the game name, but yeah, there's a snake. Those days we do have social medias.
Yeah.
So we don't have cameras. If let's say you have camera with your phone, right, was super canggih already.
Yeah, the camera in our era, right, is like there's this revolution. It's like from the Nokia 3310.
Yes.
And then upgrade to there's this light phone, the Sony Ericsson.
Yes.
I have that one when I was standard 6. Wow, so geng. I was like, oh, you see my phone.
That is like the dream of all the kids those days.
If you have that phone, you are like the spotlight.
Yes, you are
among
considered
your
star.
friends already. Yeah.
Yes, and also I still remember the camera is only 2 megapixels. Can you imagine like that time 2 megapixels is like the best already? Now we have like 200 megapixels. We have more than 200 megapixels, and with the capabilities of access to social medias like YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and so on. And I would say the young kids nowadays, right, they are even better than us.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
They even know how to, I want to go YouTube. I want to see this. I want to watch these particular videos. They'll ask you to search for them.
Yes. I think the ideal age is actually after 12. I do agree that as in the young kids, they are not particularly well equipped to regulate their smartphone use. Because like probably like what you mentioned as in like they will just consume whatever that they can actually consume from the social medias. Whether it's good, whether it's bad, they will consume everything. And they are even more easily adopt or even digest all the content that they consume from the social medias.
I think I want to further clarify my sentence is
Mm.
I will allow my kids to use smartphones starting from the age of 7, but doesn't mean that my kids will have the control of the
Yes,
phone.
the full control.
The phone will only pass to their hand whenever we are outside. Let's say like we may go out. So in case if the kid is lost or what,
Yeah.
they can just still call us parents.
Yeah, for contact purpose.
Yeah. But other than that time, I don't think I will pass my phone. Pass the phone to my kid.
What would you do to help your kids to manage their smartphone usage better?
I think the one main reason, the main thing that can do is stop using phone as an attraction to either calm your kids down or to pull your kids' attention away from other things for letting him just to be there. There's a lot of situations right now where parents uses their smartphone. So let's say when they are outside having food, and then the kids is like running here and there, shouting or what, and then parents tend to just pass the phone to them and then ask them to sit down, just watch watch YouTube, just trying to make them sit down.
Yes.
And that it has become a very slowly starting like a serious situation that the kids are really relying on the smartphone. So let's say one day you take the phone from them, of course they're gonna be like make noise and cry.
I mean, during like the past Chinese New Year, right? So we went to a restaurant for family dinner. I do saw some interesting conditions, which is basically like the next tables that they have this like 6 kids. The adults is like having chit-chatting, like happily enjoying. And when you turn to the kids side, right, it's like everyone is actually noting down their head, either with iPad, iPhone, or devices. So they are just like totally into the devices, into the content, either gaming or YouTube or so on. So without any interactions.
Yeah. I mean, it's a very common situation now.
Yeah.
Because back when those days, like when we don't have all these smartphones, when we run around, our parents can't do anything. They can just shout us like, "Hey, sit down, don't."
Yeah.
They have nothing to lure us to sit down.
But why do you think is that is how a kid's supposed to be?
Yeah lah, true lah. But now parents are more to like, if you cry, okay lah, I'll just pass you a phone and then watch YouTube, sit down.
Yeah.
And then some even worse is like this kid is so addicted to the phone, right? So he doesn't want to eat his meal. And then his parents like,
either being fit.
It's either you put the phone in front of him, or you have to feed him, or you have to finish this food, and then after that I'll let you watch your YouTube. If you don't finish, I won't let you watch your
terms and
YouTube.
conditions. It became a bargain.
Yeah, like the kids will know like, so if you don't want to let me watch YouTube, then I don't want to eat. Then the parents will be like, you cannot, you have to eat if not you're hungry or what, and then
it will become a bargain conditions for the kids and the parents. Yeah. I mean, it's actually parents' responsibility to actually educate and also to monitor the usage of the smartphone or devices for their kids. One thing is what you mentioned is a specific time. So as in like, to set a rule, a clear rules that like, in what specific situation or specific time that they can actually access to the smartphone or even the devices, how long they can actually access, or like how long can they spend their time on the devices or even the smartphone. And also basically try to avoid those timing like, late night or even dinner time, meal time. The parents should actually implant or even put up a specific rules as in like, okay, so during family dinner time, you are not supposed to have a devices with you, because basically that is family time. So you should spend time with the family.
Parents can also bring their kids to join more activities.
Yeah, outdoor activities.
Outdoor girl, indoor girl, but at least something different than just playing phone.
I think probably they should go kampong life, because basically kampong life, like definitely when it comes to 5 o'clock those days, right, we will spend our time by the river or like riding our bicycle around the town or around the kampong, just like, enjoying that what kids supposed to have rather than just like, everything virtual.
Or no need so particular kampong lah.
Yeah.
Maybe just go to park or
Yes.
what, or do other activities lah.
Yeah.
Instead of just playing phone. Like what you mentioned about that the parents should set the time for kids to have their phone, right? Actually, I have this situation where parents, they also play phone themselves during
yes.
during the meal time, family time.
Yeah.
And then it's like kids, they see what their parents are
They
doing.
learn from what their parents do.
Yeah, because
So-
most of the youngsters right now who are parents are
The young parents.
young parents. Actually, my mom also like that.
Okay.
She'll be the one playing the phone during our mealtime, and I'll be the one sitting there looking at her like that. Because I want to try to talk to her, but then when she's on her phone looking novel, then I'm like, oh, so you don't want to talk to me? Okay, then I look at my phone also. Lor.
So basically, when you're talking to her, it's like,
I can't receive any very
response. This thing, right, is actually triggered my experience, like, which is back in last year. That I had a client meeting in one of the hotel restaurant. There's a grandma, a father, a mother, and two sons that sitting next table. Saw this situation, which is basically the mother is actually feeding both of the sons while the sons is actually playing with their phone and tablet.
Or if my family have this situation, or the adults,
The father actually shouted at the kids, as in like, stop playing the phone and eat your food. But when you look at the parents,
they're also
from
playing.
grandma to father to mother, they are also on their phone. I'm not too sure what they are doing on their phone while they are having their food. And yet the father is actually scolding the kids, stop playing your phone, eat the food.
Yeah, it's a bit conflict.
I don't know. To me, probably that none of my business, definitely. But it's just a sense of like, if I am the kids, right, I would never follow because basically,
you are doing the same thing. Right?
yes, you're asking me to stop playing the phone and eat the food, but you yourself, from the grandma to the father to the mother, they are having their phone on hand while eating the food. And the mother is like gung ho. It's like the mother is like holding the phone, eating her food. At the same time, she still managed to feed the kids. Like, wow. I think sometimes we can't really blame whether the young kids is like, they do not have this capability of like manage their usage of the phone or devices, or like they misuse. So sometimes it's actually the responsibility of the parents. And probably some parents say like, oh, I'm so busy with work, I don't have time. And with the chunkiness of the devices nowadays, right, we have this parental control. So with the parental control features, that you can actually specific to limit what kind of contents that the kids can access through the social media apps, and also like what kind of application they are allowed to use. With the parental features, right, you also can set how long the kids can actually access to the apps, like the screen time. Probably you can set, okay, so for this application or like for these devices, the maximum is like 15 minutes. So after 15 minutes, right, this device will actually shut down or even turn off.
I have a different thought. Like instead of having this kind of setting,
limitations,
yeah, but why not let the kids themselves have this kind of like, okay, so I only have 15 minutes. But I know it's a bit hard to train. But when you successfully train these kids to have this kind of control in terms of like, let's say, okay, I know my time for the YouTube is 15 minutes. Let's say 15 minutes only. Then once 15 minutes, then the kids automatically will stop. I mean, it's better
that is
than...
the best.
Yeah, because like people is like that one. When you tend to control, when you tell them no,
they will tend to do more.
The opposite,
Yeah. It's all about like how the parent to educate and also to monitor their young kids in the usage of the smartphone. I mean, this is something interesting that came from my friend who have two kids, and both is actually in age of like somewhere between 6 or 7. I do ask him before, as in like, why do you provide smartphones or even like devices to your kids at the age of like 5, 6? If he doesn't allow the kids, right, to access to all these like social medias and the smartphone and so on, right, the
Scared the
kids
kid
is actually
left out.
being left out. Yes, being left out from their social circle. Can you imagine like being left out in social circle at the age of 5 or 6?
Yeah, maybe at the age of 5 and 6, maybe a bit scary, but to me right now, okay, left out.
Yeah, I don't care lah.
We're tired with chasing, following the circle, the people.
Yeah.
Well, now it's phone now. Our generation is like, oh, I want that body glove bag. Everyone is having a body glove bag, and then when I don't have, like, oh, I want this body glove bag.
Pencil box.
And then the shaker pen.
Yeah, shaker pen.
The shaker mechanical pencil.
Yes.
There's one brand one, very canggih one. Can't remember.
Don't remember what's that already.
G-Shake or what, something like that one.
Don't remember.
It's like when you have that one. The
that
shake
is like,
got one is like non-shakeable one, is like this only, and then the shake one, and another one is more canggih one. The shake one is more expensive. Well, I have to beg for so long.
I don't have such privilege. I only have pencil. What do you think about having your young kids to have smartphone? What is the ideal age for your young kids to have a smartphone, and any special or like specific ways for you to actually control or even guide or even educate your children in the usage of social medias or like smart devices? So do share with us in the comment areas, and we love to hear your story. Thank you for listening to the Nasi Lemak Podcast.